The agenda at the moment, Kessa was wanting to know. Well, she's not actually here to discuss this with us, so I don't know if we're gonna like throw a vote out or just get some. But she wanted to know about assigning Game Watcher by default. So in other words, when somebody joins the server, they can already see all channels. They can see all the game channels. It's there. If they get um, uh, where they don't want to see all those channels, then we can have instructions on how they can remove them. Right now, when you come out of the crash pad and you become recognized, you do not see all those channels by default. You have to either get Game Watcher to see them all, or you have to get by game. She's saying let's let them see everything and remove what they don't want. Any thoughts on that?
Is the whole goal just to limit, I guess, the clutter for new people that are coming in?
Well, honestly, we go through occasional periods where we try to remove all the extraneous channels and all the clutter from and eventually we just keep adding stuff and get it recluttered again.
Mm.
So yeah, this is kind of like an internal. Um, I don't want to call it a disagreement, but it's kind of like different people have a different opinion on whether new people should see everything or not see everything. And I think the reasoning behind what Kess is thinking is when you're new and you don't know those channels exist, you don't know to ask about those channels. So what if you knew they were there, and then you could just ask about, hey, how do I get rid of them all? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's actually a much better idea. Like I'm still learning about stuff that's here but is hidden and like I never knew about it. So I think it would be much better for any new person regardless, even people that have been here for a bit that just didn't know, to have that knowledge of what exists and what's available, and then at their due pleasure to remove it if necessary.
So we should have everybody get inundated in all the channels to begin with, and let them know they can get rid of some channels rather
Yes.
than them have a bare bones thing and have to add on.
Yeah, it might even remove some of the overhead that the staff sees and the other leadership in the group too, especially.
Okay. As far as Megs, you're asking about Sky. Yeah, he's kind of on the other side of the coin here. He's of the mind that you know, uh, in order to reduce clutter and in order for people to start at zero and then add stuff would make more sense. It just to him it seems a little bit more intuitive that way. So that's why we were asking the question in the first place because we have two very different opinions on that.
I think at a certain point in time that may become an issue if there were a lot, and I mean a lot of different channels. But from I guess what I see now, it doesn't seem to be an extreme or an absorbent amount where it's actually extremely dirty or cluttery. But that's just my opinion.
If you guys can give me just a moment, I'm noting what Sly said about the command deleting a little too quickly. I think that's very important to note. I'm really unhappy that Sky is not around to see that question. I don't think that's very difficult. And Silver's asking all of the newer folk, would you have known to ask to remove the role if the role had been assigned to you from the beginning? Anybody have an opinion on that? Good evening, Tucker.
Hello.
While people are typing, Tiger, we're just catching up on. Kessa would like everybody to have the Game Watcher role by default, so they see all the game channels at once, and then they can just give instructions that tell them how they can delete roles they don't want. Whereas the other side of the coin is people don't see all the channels and they're told how to add them. And it seems like most people would prefer having all the channels and learn how to remove them rather than having none of the channels and having to add.
That seems like a good idea to me.
Yeah, there's been a lot of the situation where even people who've been here for a little while, find out that we had things were not aware that we had, because those things were, I don't know, it's not that they were being hidden in any way. It was because they weren't obvious to the casual observer, I guess you could say. So I think that's another reason that Cousin wants everything to be obvious from the get-go, and it's up to you to go, oh, I can remove this? Okay. Sly, that's a good point, not to mention most of the people here are in various Discords. So, oh yeah, was it this one that had that role or the other one? Kind of thing. Megs, we haven't heard you at all. Your mic appears muted. Never heard you in the interim.
So I do have a question, Neo, just for some clarification here. Um, if the Game Watcher role isn't specific to certain channels, or like if you like I think it's Houdini brought this up, um, or Silver. If you ping that role, it doesn't go to a specific game. It's just the specific game. It's just that certain section of game channels. If you were to remove that Game Watcher channel, you're removing all of them. You're not removing separate channels. So I'm just trying to clarify what we mean here.
Yeah, you would remove anything that you're not already assigned the role for. So if I were assigned the role for Terraria, I would still see the Terraria role, but I wouldn't see the Destiny role.
Do you need a role to see certain channels besides the Game Watcher one?
As it stands right now, yes, you need that individual role to see it. I believe there's only 3 or 4 roles that actually have a channel associated with them right now. Sky's still working on building those channels. The Game Watcher role allows you to see all of them regardless of whether or not you have the individual role. It does not allow pings. So if I ping Terraria, only the people with that individual role will get pinged. The Game Watcher role will not get pinged. It'll only get pinged if I ping Game Watcher. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense. I just didn't realize that's how it worked. So I guess the question I have is: are we talking about if this were to go through and voted on? Would it mean when say a new player joins, they would literally get every game role assigned to them, and then they would have to remove that specific game role?
They would get
No,
the role that shows them every game at once.
they would get the Game Watcher role.
Okay.
So they would get to see all of the voice and chat or text channels. They would not get assigned the individual game roles. Those game roles wouldn't be pingable. It's kind of 2 separate things. The Game Watcher only gives access to the voice and text channel.
Yeah, Game Watcher is like the overall umbrella. And if you were told you could remove Game Watcher, then you could remove it, not see any of them. Then you could do what Silver's talking about and add per game, one single game at a time.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Thank you, guys.
But we assume people would be like relatively familiar with what's going on by the time they get to that point. So yeah, this is kind of tying into the original question, which was, should everybody see every single solitary umbrella game channel and learn how to remove them, or should they not see them all and learn how to add them? That's what we're at. Yeah, just a brief idea of what a role is. In the context of game rules, it's game rule. If you add the creative game rule to yourself, anytime that somebody starts like a draw pile session or they're just doing something with the creative group, they just do an @creative, and the only people who will see the notification of what they're saying will be those with that role. So if you play Destiny 2 and somebody @ Destiny 2 and says we're starting a tournament right now, everybody that has a Destiny 2 rule will see it. Role, excuse me. If you have the Game Watcher role, you can game watch at everybody that has every game. So like if you @ Game Watcher, maybe you play Terraria and everybody's talking about Don't Starve, you'll see it anyway because you have Game Watcher. Game Watcher, again, just means it's an umbrella term. You see everything for every game.
So I have not looked at the is it CrashPad or still or something? That what the channel, the text channel you joined into when you first joined the server?
Yeah, close CrashPad.
So I haven't looked at it in a long time because I mean, yeah. But I know like a lot of servers I'm on Discord, you'll join, and in that text channel when you join, it'll have your. So why not just put in there, you know, game roles are such and such to join them. Just type your command in and join the game role that you want to join.
I think
Instead
part
of
of the
that.
reason it's not straight in CrashPad is because once you get recognized, you can no longer see CrashPad, so then you lose it all. But I think Sky's working on, if he hasn't already, haven't looked, up at the very top, there, top of Discord, there's a channel that will have all of this stuff in it. It's been a really long project of his. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that's the goal, is to put all of these instructions extremely accessible to people. We just
Yeah,
need to
so,
let people
I
know
mean,
where they are.
Rather than overcomplicating it and trying to decide should we do this or should we do that and blah blah blah, just I mean, it'd be pretty easy to put it all in a text channel that everybody can see. Nobody can post in. Just lock that channel, and there you go.
Let me get to Revelations. What do you have, Revelations? Oh, you raised your hand. Oh, I thought that was a hand raise. It was more like I agree. Alrighty, so what you guys are saying is, rather than do what Kez is talking about, you're saying it would be better if we had a static channel that nobody could do anything, where it tells them, hey, you can have the game role or not have the game role.
Yeah,
But
I mean that's
they shouldn't have it at first.
I mean, it should be in the CrashPad when they join, and then it should also be in the, since CrashPad disappears once you get recognized. It should be in that text channel as well that he's working on, rather than trying to overcomplicate and figure out where do we want this and where do we want that. I think it'd just be a whole lot easier to just boom, here it is.
Okay, so in that case, we do not want to give everybody the Game Watcher role. We want to keep it the way it is.
Just get rid of the Game Watcher role.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just have
What
it in
about
that
those
text
people who
channel.
don't want to see everything?
Well, that's why they join just their specific role they want to see.
But what about those people who want to see the text channels but don't want the actual role?
You can unhide. I mean, I don't. You can, so on client side, you can get rid of channels. You can make them disappear. You can hide them.
I have to agree with Bob. It's
Yeah.
kind of a moot discussion on those guys.
I think this is a conversation that both Kessa and Sky need to be here for, because they're the ones who, well, Kessa's the one who brought it up, and Sky's the one, kind of the man behind fish sticks and everything.
Yeah. I just think I don't know. I think there's simpler ways of coming at it than trying to make everything super complicated and
Mm.
whatnot.
All right, I just added a sentence that said the members themselves tabled this discussion since neither Cousin nor Sky were in attendance. So, in light of that, anybody else have any thoughts remaining on that particular conversation before we move on? That's a good idea too, Bud. Personally, I can kind of see both sides, but I do believe that when you have too much in front of someone, sometimes it's the same thing as having nothing, because when you have too much, people are like, I don't want to read all that. It's nice to have it available, but not like smashing you in the face as soon as you join. That's true too, Revelations. When you first showed up, you thought there was like nothing here.
Mm.
All right, this is all valuable feedback for Sky. So either way, I appreciate everybody weighing in on this, because there's two separate opinions on how the general thing should be about game one. But if you guys are saying, it'd be better to just let people get confused if they want to get confused and not be confused by default, that's good too. All righty, any more thoughts on that? Because we're moving on. I'm gonna let everybody stop typing first. Did you figure out your sound issue, Megs? You're not the first person who's had weird issues with sound on Discord today. I wonder if they changed something odd. Are you just being lazy, Megs? Okay. All right, Bob. We're still on this topic until you're done. And you got to say something next. 5, 4. All right, moving on. That was our first one. Let me copy everything here. This is the entire agenda. So we're moving on to her second thing, which was she wanted to plug AJ Man's anti-scam guide for Steam. There's the link. If you haven't seen it already, give it a look. Just, it gives you some common sense stuff about like who to get messages from, who to not get messages from, when Steam itself would ask you for things, the fact that Steam employees would never ask you for a password, that sort of thing. So we have plugged AJ Mann's anti-scam guide, Scam Recovery. At this time, we're moving on to Botuts has a reminder for the next meeting. He wanted to ask anyone if you'd be interested in the CC pin. I don't know how many of you realize, but there are a couple of different types of pins. There's enamel, there's soft enamel, there's all metal, there's all kinds of different stuff. Botuts, I'm going to hand it off to you, sir.
All right, so we talked about this a little bit as well as in the what is it, the art gallery. Personally, I've been putting things in my bag, and I was just wanting because the CC logo is actually pretty well designed to be something you could put on a pin or made as a pin. So I was like, well, why not I just find out if we can get a pin for the community because I want to put it on something that I have and show it off. So um, I know that the issue is a lot of some of these products, like you and I were talking, that you have to bulk order them, and you can't always just get like a one-off design because it's not beneficial to the manufacturer to only fulfill say 5 orders of something that's custom made. So I know there are manufacturers that I think can do a minimum of like 50. Um, but it really depends on what everyone's interested in. I think it would have to be something. I think an individual here, either myself or I don't know, it doesn't matter, to fulfill these orders because we would have to do bulk ordering. But like I said, we've been talking in the art gallery as well, and everyone's kind of like on different pages as to what things they want to buy. If there is merch that people are interested in. Um, so I just kind of want to, ask around and see people who are interested in that. For me, it could honestly, it's not about like clothing or anything. It's more so like I would love to have a pin at least, but that's just me personally. So it really depends on what people are interested in. It may be something we had to get support on prior to making any orders, if we were to go down that route. And as well as figuring out the logistics of give everyone their orders if they do it that way. But I kind of just want to just open that up to the community in case people were interested in it.
Anybody that has any thoughts, you're welcome to put them in the text channel or let us know and we'll give you the floor for speaking. Give it a try, Mix.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Fantastic. Third time's a charm. So with the pins, I was asking my boyfriend because that is a company that he runs. The thing is if you're gonna do those, you're gonna want to do like the cheapest option for those are gonna be not the enamel or the metal pins or some of the most expensive I don't know what you would call it, merch that you can do. So the metal pins are super expensive, but you would be looking at probably the cheapest thing would be like a button. I don't know if that's like a pin, but here, let me get a picture of what I'm talking about.
That's a really good point. The difference between pins and buttons, yeah.
But it's gonna be expensive to do less than like a lot. And then even from you probably want to just get it from like an online retail person and then ship them off, have them shipped to one person and then they can ship them off, because you're not going to get it to where you're going to get someone to send like one pin to one person. It's just not going to happen. That's what I was more thinking about. Those are going to be like the cheapest things that you can have.
Now, Botuts, when you first started, you were talking about pins like lapel pins, right?
Yeah, and I already did some pricing for a few of the bulk orders. Yeah, Meg's is definitely right. It's obviously cheaper to go the button route. I guess it depends on how much people are willing to pay,
And
and
how
what they're
many you're going
interested.
to get.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a 50 button order, or I guess, yeah, like a hard enamel or soft enamel. I don't recall which one it was last night, and it was about, it was expensive. It was like 180 bucks, I think. Personally, I don't care about spending that much money. If we were to distribute that to people who wanted to pay it back, Like you mentioned, like you would have some person kind of holding on to the merchandise, and then eventually it would be paid back over time if people were interested in them. But I understand the mentality of keeping it cheap just for the community's sake. That's totally fine. So it really depends on what people are interested in, because obviously we can't do this if we only get what, maybe 5 people or 10 people at most. So it really just depends.
Yeah, I think it would be something that would have to go out into the community that the council did, and they put out maybe a survey or something saying what would you be interested in, because you also have to be comfortable giving someone here your address, something,
Right.
somewhere to send this pin to. So a lot of people may be like, oh, it's just $5, but I'm not comfortable giving someone my address. So then you can't, that's no longer a and it's of course somebody that we trust, but yeah, like
Sure.
Houdini put in, those are going to be more expensive because those are metal, and so those will probably be some of the more expensive if they're raised, that kind of stuff. It all goes into it. But, like I was talking, yeah, those are pins, and then the others are like buttons.
Uh,
But
well, actually,
sorry, go ahead, Mio.
oh, I apologize, Max. I was thinking about something that's also very much part of the price is if you look at the picture of the pins, they're all custom made, they're custom shapes, they're custom colors. If you look at the picture of the pins that Meg put up for you, those are made very, very cheaply in bulk, and all they have to do is print your design per button. So, I mean, like if they have like a bazillion white buttons, they can make all the designs that are on white background. If they have a bazillion orange buttons, like that. So they don't have to have like really customized writing or anything like that. It's printed.
So I don't have any pricing for the pins, but I just looked up a site real quick for 2.25-inch buttons, and you can get 10 for $22 or 50 for 40. So I mean, it just depends on the how many people, and you can also do custom quantities. But within talking to my boyfriend, if we did want to do other products such as t-shirts, mouse pads, that kind of stuff, coffee mugs, you want to look at things that are more less setup time. So like t-shirts are less setup time, coffee mugs are less setup time, mouse pads are really kind of easy to do too. So look at those versus like hats take more time, that kind of stuff. And embroidery is going to be way more expensive than say like mouse pads, coffee mugs, that kind of stuff as well. So the button thing, but then also if y'all want to go into something more than that, just kind of consider how many are we actually going to get from here and what's the setup cost, because that's going to be one of your major costs. Not actually the product itself, but how many of them are you going to buy that makes it worth it.
All right. So most of the stuff that's being discussed, like screen printed shirts,
Mm-hmm.
are things that you have to buy kind of in bulk. What CC already has in its store right now, you can actually buy one of. If somebody wanted me to add a coffee mug to the CC store, that'd be very, very simple. And yes, you can order just the one.
Yeah, I'm just
But
talking about more for like a bulk, that kind of stuff, or if you wanted to do it. Because looking at some of those, if you were to do it through someone else, you could get a better price, but you'd have to get more of them. So if everyone was like, okay, yeah, we want 10 coffee mugs, okay, you can get a better price on them, but you're locked into 10 coffee mugs. Then everyone buying a coffee mug 10 separate times. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
So that's just an idea with that.
Yeah, I think those are a lot of great ideas. I think one of the biggest things too you mentioned as well is the kind of the survey. I think maybe one of the easiest ways to start this off is start like you're not signing a paper or anything, but it'd be kind of like, hey, I want to pre-order something I'm interested in, and we can offer a few options and say if there's enough support for something, then maybe we can move forward with getting them, either bulk or however we choose to pursue it. That might be just the easiest way to get an understanding of what the community is interested in buying. Because yeah, because like we said, we don't know. We really don't know how much we want right now. Um, so that's just something we could think about as we go through.
All right. Anybody else have anything else they'd like to mention where, in regards to any products at all? Any products that you'd like to see?
On the store on the website, you said you can add more products to that. What exactly other products are available for those?
Well, I can give a price list of the products that they have. That has basically all the stuff they make now. I'll find that for you in a sec, but I can tell you that in it has pretty much all kinds of clothes wear, from like men's shirts, women's shirts, different types of women's shirts. I have several different types. Some are t-shirts, some are collared, like golf style shirts, polos, some people call them. They have a lot of different apparel. They have baby bibs. They have canvases, so you can get like a canvas print. There are tons of things on that list. I think there are mice pads. Possibly, they may have removed it, but I think they used to have like doormats for your front door, stuff like that.
Can I get a CC doormat? Oh yeah.
They used to have die cut stickers. I don't know if they have all that now. I have to look.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you for explanation.
About to get the price list here, just a second. Our drop shipper is called gallery.com. And we went with them because you're able to set up your own store, integrate it into your website. It looks like people are ordering from your store as opposed to from them. But as I was having a conversation with, I think, Megs and Silver and a couple of people the other day, this is not a gigantic corporation like Printfection or Cafe Press. I'm pretty sure this is a mom and pop. So if you come to them and you say, hey, my softball team needs 150 shirts, they're going to put you at the head of the production line. If you say, hey, I'd like one medium shirt like this printed on your printer like this, you could be waiting a couple weeks or more. I will tell you, Silver, that I've priced direct to garment printers, which are the cheapest, easiest way to make relatively decent t-shirt designs. They are much cheaper than screen printing. And a direct to garment printer generally runs about $35,000 for the cheaper ones. Just so that's on your radar. Really? Revelations, you know what brand?
I mean, as long as the quality is still good, I guess.
Right, just for future reference, Silver. If you see things that you like on Gallery's price list, I personally can make unlimited stores there. So, like, I could literally make just one-off products just for you. That's the other thing. Anything that you see in the CC store, as far as products are concerned, which, like on this list, all the different T-shirts, coffee mugs, etc. If anybody comes to me and they have something they want custom printed, and it's not infringing on any copyright whatsoever, we can do it. So, like, if you drew something and you'd really like a T-shirt of what you drew, we can talk and we can make you a shirt, and you can order it at a wholesale price with no markup on the price. Yes, it would be on the website there, Farmer Gal, with all the other content. Which is going to be a nice segue actually into our last thing to talk about tonight. Anybody else have anything more to say about printing or labels, or what do you call them, buttons or lapel pins or any of that stuff?
Stickers would be fun, but stickers are also going to be like $50 for 50 of them. But they would be fun.
For future reference, Megs, do you mind if people have questions, if they come to you and ask them about that stuff?
Of course. I mean, I just asked my boyfriend, so he runs that kind of stuff. So yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, folks. We'll put that in the minutes too. That anybody that has any questions about that kind of stuff, particularly stuff we can't handle in the CC store, because again, the stuff that's in the CC store is so specific about product. Because this company makes a point of selling things not in bulk, whereas most of the designers out there for the quality stuff you have to order in bulk, which is the stuff you talk to Megs about. Alrighty, Revelations. We might have to get a price list or something from you soon, because it maybe your shop could help. Oh, well, how nice. So, like, kind of like a coupon. Anyway, alrighty. So, anybody else need that gallery price list, or have anything else they want to add about this particular thing? Alrighty, I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves in the text channel. Here's the last item on the agenda for the evening. Official, anyway. I just wanted to mention that we have a few things on our website maybe people aren't aware of, such as the CC Store. More cowbell insert here. Yeah, so we have a thing called the Link Library, which is a library of links to all kinds of interesting stuff. And you can submit a link to all the different topic levels that are there. So if you want to check that out, you might find some really good articles you've never seen before, or maybe find some cool software you never knew existed that's free, that kind of thing. And if you know about stuff the rest of us don't know about, hey, toss it in there. And once it's approved, it'll be part of the link library. We also have a job board where you can apply to do various jobs. We have actually had an applicant on one of our jobs. But we have several things there. If you want to do small jobs that could help the community, just take a look. Maybe you'll like the jobs we have there. And last but not least, we have some blogs now where instead of having like a big CC blog that talks about, like, I don't know, the news and announcements of the day, we have separated blogs for users. And for those of you that haven't noticed, Clarence's Corner, the word of the day posts are now coming from the website. And he actually has custom made posts where he goes in the back end of the website and he just drops in 4 lines and boom, his post. So he was happy about it. We're happy about it. If you want a blog like that, we can do it. So anybody that's interested, just let me know. If you wanted to do a blog, you do have to register and log in order to use the blog, but I'm in the process of creating a way for you to register and log in automatically. Used to be, when you registered for the forums, it automatically registered you for the website as well. So if you registered on the forums in the past like 6 months, you're already on the website. You didn't even know. Now that the website has been separated from the same database that the forums, if you were a new person and you wanted to do the blog thing, then yeah, you would have to register now. I could check Farmer Gal. You may already have a login there. The difference now is, like, if you wanted a blog, your user level would actually go higher because you would be a contributor. As far as like what you can see on the website, all of the front end website is open to everyone at this time. There may come a point in the future where you have to have a login to see membership only things, but there's no membership only content there at the moment. There's a lot there. A lot of interesting content. So if you haven't been through the website, just click on everything. Pretty confident you can't break anything there. If you do, tell me about it so I can fix it. But just wanted to plug that stock. And main reason I wanted to plug that stuff was because, you know, if anybody wanted to do certain jobs in the community, we occasionally have people say, "Hey, how can I help?" And we wanted to have a little job board there of ways that people can help. Yeah, it'll probably be up sometime in the next couple of days. Actually, Farmer Gal, I'll probably make an announcement about it. Alrighty, this is the point at which our official agenda is exhausted, and I'll ask, does anybody else have any open meeting business they'd like to talk about this evening? Doesn't have to be whatsoever related to the things we talked about. If you've got any concerns, any suggestions, any questions at all, now's your chance. Don't jump on me all at once.
It sounds like you're challenging me to break the website, so
Go for it. Although I should mention that we do already have an official website breaker, and that person had to have their
football.
they had to have their IP whitelisted because they were banned for trying it.
Yep, that was me.
Nice.
Yeah, Bowtouch did a nice little trick with website backends, and he did find out some interesting information in doing so. And then he got banned.
Yeah, don't do what I did.
Alrighty, last call. Anybody have any open meeting business you'd like to share with the community this evening? The snacks. Ah. But alrighty, okay. Do you have one last piece of business?
What is?
I have too many windows open. 1 second. Alrighty then. If you would at all be interested, where is it? Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here. Alrighty, I'm about to share a link here. If you would find yourself at all interested in Super Avalanche, which is Avalanche 2, Super Avalanche, I'm going to be giving away the key here momentarily. Anyone who would be interested in Avalanche 2, Super Avalanche.
Is that a game?
If you're interested, I will throw out that you need a number between 1 and 100. You can submit them now.
99.
2.
I'm going to give people about 30 more seconds. $20. $5. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. The number for Super Avalanche was 57. Looks like Farmer Gal won it. Farmer Gal, if you could friend me here on Discord in order for me to DM link to get the game. Congratulations. Alrighty, it's at this time, folks, that I will thank you very much for coming out. I think we're going to forego a closed session meeting this evening because we really only have a couple of, well, 3 council members in residence at the. Let's try again. Okay, we only have 3 council members, so we're not going to have a closed meeting this evening.